that's good. Good. Hey, why don't you walk?
All right, welcome everybody.
I know her.
We got the Pouches back in town. You can tell they're off their world cruise. They made it back to the meetings. So,
I missed them.
yeah. Okay, I'd like to first call to order the Lawrenceburg Board of Works meeting for March 6, 2023. Mr. Fetty, if we can get a roll call.
Yeah, we got board member Tony Abbott,
Here.
board member Tommy Roulette,
Present.
we got city attorney Del Weldon,
Here.
we got president Keller Lawn,
Yep.
and myself.
Okay, announcements. The biggest announcement I would like to make, and if you haven't heard it, you must be living in a cave. But congratulations to Mr. Mason Paris, Big Ten heavyweight champion of the world. Big Ten, anyway. Yeah. And but I think on to the NCAA's next? Is that
Next week, yeah.
2 weeks.
Yeah.
Week, 2 weeks.
So congratulations to him and his family, and well representing Lawrenceburg. And I tell you, I was talking to somebody today. I mean, for a small city, we have had some very talented people come out, I mean, in the last 10, 15 years. I mean, my goodness, skiers and football players and
Race car driver.
race car drivers, and we got Billy Kennett. We got Bill Kennett, multi-sport, phenomenal athlete.
What about,
Goes back a ways.
That was more than a few years ago.
Lenny used to
Gets to the
golf.
point.
Lenny's golfing at one time.
Lenny,
Great golfer.
Lenny was
Great
like
golfer.
a great golfer and semi-pro baseball player, and
Just had a little bit of that.
now we don't know what he does.
I'm a has-been.
But it's all good. It's all good. Tommy, you and I and Tony, we're nothing.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that, Mayor.
I am too. All right,
And
Right, let's get
also,
back.
Mayor, just one other thing on that. Anytime we beat Connorsville in a sectional or regional, it's a great day.
It is.
So,
It is. Hey, our basketball team did have good years.
Yeah,
We did.
They did.
yeah,
Best year in many years.
yeah.
Really, record-wise.
Yeah.
But good deal. Okay, any other announcements from you two gentlemen down here? Am I right?
I have none.
All right, if not, I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes of the previous meeting.
So move.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. And then we had a meeting that involved Board of Works as well on 2/27/23. Can I get a motion to
So
approve?
moved.
I'll second.
Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. All right. New business, Mr. Beckert from ARA, OR Project Homeowner Approvals. This is exciting stuff.
Yes, good
How you
evening.
doing tonight, sir?
Good, how are you?
Doing great, thank you.
All right, so quick update. We've got GC homeowner A through homeowner R, 18 total. We have done 9 of those initial inspections thus far. We're doing the bottom 9 this Friday.
Okay.
We don't see any changes with those, but if something were to happen and we cannot help those, I will send that information out to let you know afterwards. Usually that comes if it's a roof, but it's simply falling in, and we don't want our contractors on that. If it's unsafe, we will have to let the homeowner know that, we just can't help them. I haven't seen any of that from the pictures I've got, so I don't look forward to any changes there. I'm just asking the board to approve these, and we should be hopefully under contract in the next 30 to 40 days, and then construction within about 45 to 60 days starting.
If someone would happen to not qualify after the inspection,
Mhm.
do you have others that could be
Yes.
possibly moved up
Yeah.
on the list because they qualify?
Yes. Yeah, we still have about 12 homeowners that are on our waiting list.
Okay,
We have 2 more that are going to be helped.
okay,
They're going to be in that last group. This is kind of, we'll see what money is left after these first 18.
got it.
And then the last 2 will get that. But already looking at what we're going to do for these 18, I've already told the other 2, they're working on paperwork now, because I know we will be able to help those 2,
Okay, good.
at least. So we'll be at 20 total, if not more.
That's wonderful, that's good. Any questions from you guys?
I have none, Mayor.
I have one question.
Yes.
On the applicants, if they've gotten them before, and they come back
this time? Are they put down at the bottom of the list, or?
As long as they are out of their lien period from the previous, program, then.
5 years.
It's 1 year for up to 5,000, 2 year up to 10,000, 3 years over 10,000.
Okay.
So, but if they are out of that lien period, it's a fresh start as far as how they score and different things there.
I was gonna say, because I know a few of these have had those loans before, grants before, so I was just wondering how you did that.
And then some of those, because we've had a couple in that first 9 that were in that, got help before, and it's been helpful because now it's minimal in what we're doing for them now. So we're kind of finishing them up, getting them everything they need, but also too, that excess money is now helping another homeowner, or if not two, that group, so. And the ones that are on that waiting list are simply how they scored out, because they're right on that edge of income. They're just underneath the qualification, but they're just, right there at that edge. So that's why their score-wise was lower this time. But also, if they come back, hopefully, again, we can do this with the city in the future, and we'll have their information, so then they kind of get moved up that list.
Okay.
So that next group, then yes, they would get moved up, and then ones that are previous, they would already be on that waiting list.
Answer your question, Toby?
That's it.
Okay. All right, if no other questions, I'd entertain a motion to approve the Lawrenceburg owner-occupied rehab program, the first 18 approvals anyway.
So moved.
I'll second it, Mayor.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
All right,
Thank
thank you,
you.
gentlemen.
Thanks for your help. Okay. Next item on the agenda is the PM agreement at the firehouse. Mr. Todd?
Yes, Your Honor. As you have in your packet, this is a 3-year maintenance agreement with Johnson Controls. I think I noted last meeting we'd be back. We've already signed up with their IT as far as communications with the chiller, the boilers, where they can remote control and analyze all the systems.
Any questions?
I have one or two. When looking into this, and I was just trying to find out if we'd had an existing contract, it's to my understanding, working with the clerk treasurer's office, that we've had something annually already in place, and it was like almost $300 monthly.
We
Is this-
dropped that. It's been expired for about a year.
Okay?
And again, we let it expire on purpose so we could get the IT update as part of this contract. So last year, we were off their PM altogether, but they did perform services and work for us during that period, just not under that maintenance agreement.
But the dollar amounts we're seeing now are much higher than what they were before. Is there more work that they're doing now?
Correct,
Things
correct.
that they're replaced under this that they wouldn't in the other
Correct.
contract and
If
charge
you
you
looked
for?
at, if you looked at Schedule A, Tommy, you'll see the number of visits. It's about-
Yeah, I did go into that.
Yeah. Before, it was just one visit to go through, then they had like a filter change, and that was it. This is pretty comprehensive plan. Because we've added a chiller. Under the old agreement, the chiller wasn't part of the service agreement.
And that's the one that was replaced 4 or 5
18.
years ago, is what?
Yes, yes.
Or just, I'm not disputing it, but boy, it just seems like it's a lot more money
It
than it
is.
used to be.
Well, that's a lot more work they're doing right now than they did before.
Correct.
Before it was pretty simple. Now you're in the IT and they're controlling the heat and air and everything, so.
The boilers are pretty complex too. We have almost 4 boilers down there now.
So this is taking over the scope of all that.
Correct.
Chiller, the boiler, the water heaters, everything.
Correct. And we've used them for emergency service on, call outs. The piping, for whatever reason, we're having issues with pinholes. We think it's water control. We're gonna do a water analysis going through that unit. So,
Just, and like I said, Tommy, he came over and he talked to me, and we went through some of the previous years, and like he said, it's quite a bit of difference,
Yeah.
really. It really is, and the thing is, they had their monthly charge, and they've had it the last 3 or 4 years. It was like
Correct.
$298 or something like that, but,
it was pretty bare bones.
But Yeah, I mean, and like I told Tommy, I said, I have no clue. Looking through this contract, I can't tell if they're gonna cover anything or not. I know that in the past, anytime anything broke down, they charged us extra for that. I mean,
Right.
anytime anything, they had to fix anything, they charged us for whatever parts and stuff they did.
Correct.
So-
And again, we hope to head that off with a program like this in the preventive maintenance side. Other words, as you see the listing here, I mean, they come in, of course, 4 times a year, just change filters, but they go through a whole list of checkpoints. It's almost 5 pages.
Right,
Yeah.
yeah. I
So-
read it, some of it's Greek to me, but I understand it somewhat, yes.
Right.
Who checks off that they do their work?
Well,
Check
actually,
that off, or, I mean, or is that just something that they could, that you can get from a computer, that you can see when they?
yeah, you'll get a whole
mark it
readout,
off?
what they touched, what they did, and when they touched it. That's the other good thing about this. And that's what Bryson actually had them install, so you could actually track that, similar to like a SCADA system throughout that whole program down there.
The only other question I have is, when you go to the first year, it's like 14,892.
Correct.
Second year is 14,726,
Correct.
and then the third's 15,757.
So I asked the same thing. The first year is playing catch-up to get everything brought up to their standard.
Okay.
Then it drops off to what the regular negotiated fee is. Then that upcharge on the third year is like a 7% add-on to what you would have normally for a additional year.
And that's just the firehouse, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
And basically, if we add new buildings, do different things, that could change with other units.
Say
we
that
have
again, I'm
throughout-
sorry?
That could change throughout the city if we add new things.
For Johnson Controls?
Yeah, I mean, for, like, say, we do stuff to the.
Well,
police
we
station.
only have them locked into that building. We don't have,
Right.
yeah.
That's one of the questions that him and I talked about again, too. It seems like we'd want to look for someone to do all the units, more so than just the one.
Well, the thing is, we want to keep competitive pricing, you know? We don't want somebody to have just a lockdown, so, and it never fails, when we go out to get other pricing, they come in like 3,000 or 4,000
Right.
under. So what do you know? What do you do?
Yeah, what do you do?
Just like right now, we've got pricing on rooftop units here. They vary from 7,000 to almost 16,000. So that's, I mean, the disparity is quite a bit.
I mean, the difference, I think, with the firehouse, correct me if I'm wrong, is that there's some proprietary
With Johnson.
hardware
Correct, with their
Yes,
software
yes.
in there, yes.
within this, and that
Yes.
it's a cost to change that, to make it more, I guess, unified with some of the other
Correct,
systems would be substantial, but
correct. And again, if we would look to go elsewhere, you know, that software we just purchased wouldn't be, you know, worth,
Almost sole source. of what-
yes, exactly.
That's 7,000 and 16,000. That's going to be a lot higher now since March.
You know,
Government
and,
regulations has pushed the prices, heat and air up. a
correct,
lot.
you're exactly, and availability, some units are still 30 weeks out.
yeah.
Yeah.
And they want a 3-year deal, they don't want to go annually.
They will go annually, but the only thing is, it's not gonna benefit our backside of it. Like, if you can only come in for the 1 year, do that preventive maintenance, get caught up, there's
Then
no.
you don't relax.
Yeah.
There you
Yeah.
go.
And if you wanna go back the following year, I guarantee it's gonna be more than that catch-up fee.
Any other questions, guys?
It's the only other thing I would have, is this something that we already budgeted in the
Yeah, it
budget
comes, it
20
comes under maintenance.
maintenance? I wondered that, but,
Yes.
yep, okay. All right,
Yeah, we budget those types of things, Tommy, under that.
I didn't even think to look,
That line
to
item.
be honest with you, Mayor, sorry about that.
In all fairness, I mean, a lot of the stuff is just so technical beyond, our guys do a great job, don't get me wrong, but it's,
Well, this
I get it,
yeah.
I get it, yeah. Well, I guess, Mayor, with Mario's recommendation to this, I'll entertain the motion that we proceed.
All right, can I get a second on the PM agreement?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
I just got one other question. Can we do something like this for the community center and the police department?
Funny you mention that. We've got a contractor coming in tomorrow to go through all our facilities to look at a lot of our HVAC to get pricing on.
Okay.
We're not going to do too much with the LPD.
Yeah, because we're going to remodel
If
it,
we-
but
Yeah, but the LCC, yeah.
Yeah, they're coming in tomorrow to go through.
Now, them units have been replaced not too many years back too, correct?
Correct, but
Along with
taking,
maybe one at the Dearborn Adult Center or something, maybe?
Well,
Which
the
is not
LCC
ours.
The LCC, we got a grant to do that.
Right.
Back, I'm gonna say, 3 years ago, 4 years ago.
we're-
19, I think.
yeah, I think it was
Oh, yes,
19,
I do believe.
pre-COVID.
It probably was prior to 19, I guess,
Yeah.
4 years ago.
Yeah. So we're looking for maintenance folks to do that. DeBrawl was actually gonna meet us tomorrow and go through everything.
okay.
They're in town now.
Yeah.
Everybody a little
They're,
closer.
they're local now, yes.
They're local. Yeah. Okay. Good questions, guys. All right, next item is the Lawrenceburg Township Interlocal, Mr. Del Weldon.
Thank you, Your Honor. Please, the Board of Works. We have our annual agreement with Lawrenceburg Township to provide fire protection services. The payment is the same as last year. All the terms are exactly the same as last year. They make two $13,000 payments to us, one in June, one in December, for a total of $26,000, and then they give us a run report by the end of the year, or by the. So that should say 2024 in paragraph 5. I'll make that change.
2024.
Yeah. They'll give us their annual report by the end of the month,
All right.
January 31st, 2024.
I didn't even catch that.
Yeah. I'm shocked.
Tommy.
Tommy, you're slipping.
I put it in there on purpose.
Slipping.
Test you out.
Slipping. He did that on purpose.
Yeah, I did notice that now that me and Mr. Abbott get to sign this, we're getting prior to that.
Yeah. I'm getting better every day.
Any questions?
I'm in there.
If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve the interlocal between for the Lawrenceburg Township Fire Service.
So moved.
Second,
I'll second it, Mayor.
all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, motion carries. Thank you. I have no other new business nor old business for Board of Works. You guys got anything?
I have
I
none.
had
Mayor.
none.
If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve the claims.
So move.
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Motion to adjourn this meeting.
So moved.
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you, Mr. Todd.
You're not
Home
going to
and
stay
enjoy
for the
your
rest of the
evening.
meeting? We have so much fun here.
Really like it.
I'd like to, he said, yeah. All right, next meeting I'd like to call to order is the City of Lawrenceburg Utility Board for March 6, 2023. Roll call, please.
All right, we got Board Member Tony Abbott,
Here.
Board Member Justin Noppert,
Sir?
Board Member Tommy Roulette,
Present.
Board Member Lenny Fryman,
Here.
Board Member Brett Bondurant.
Yes, sir.
We got Utility Director Billy Kennett.
Here.
City Attorney Dale Weldon.
Here.
And we got President Kellen Alon
Here.
and myself.
Okay, announcements, Mr. Kennett.
Yes, sir. Couple of things as far as announcements. Friday night, we had that big storm come through. I'm happy to report that we didn't have any major damage coming through with those high winds. The reason I mention that, we did get a call for mutual aid on Friday night. Kentucky got hit really hard. And so we actually got a call Friday night to send a crew down to Owensboro, Kentucky. But I didn't want to release the crew because we still had high winds at that time. I woke up Saturday morning, things were calm. We didn't have any problems throughout the night. So we went ahead and released Jason Fowdy and Scott DeHammer. Actually, Owensboro had their stuff cleaned up, but Hopkinsville, Kentucky had asked for mutual aid assistance. And so we sent those guys down there. They finished up in Hopkinsville, and then they went to an REA electric cooperative down there in that same vicinity, same area. and then they came back today. So anytime we can reach out and help, someday, knock on wood, hopefully we won't need it, but if we do, that mutual aid is going to be here for us. So it's something, even though we have limited crew size and we have to be careful when we do that, it's something we always want to try to help out and respond. It's the right thing to do. So, again, we went through this when we had the New Smyrna Beach mutual aid during the hurricane down there. Whenever they go on work like this, it's dangerous, it's tough, and it's rewarding. So these guys love to go out and help out like this. So just a great thing that these guys do. I included in your packet, we knew it was coming, but this is the first time that it kind of hits us for real. On our sewer district invoice, the price for this month's invoice was $253,966.75. From month to month, these bills are pretty consistent. Year to month, it's pretty consistent. So I went back and looked at the same invoice, the due date of February in 2022, and that price is $159,229.17. That's a cost difference of almost $95,000. So
Flow and load's similar?
I'm sorry.
Flow and the load's similar?
Yeah,
Time?
yeah. They'll be fairly similar. They'll adjust, but that quantifies what that percentage means to us in that bill. And this is money that we don't recoup. This is strictly a rate increase, so there's no additional cost. We as LMU chose to not raise our rates, or we did raise our rates a little bit as a part of this, but not to the quantity that the sewer district raised their rates to us. So we do, there's a cost difference there for this. So it just becomes real. I wanted you to see the numbers, and it's definitely, it's hitting home for that. The second announcement that I had, this has been a couple years in the works. I know we've come to you on another occasion to approve the engineering for AEP installing a fiber line. This is part of Homeland Security requirement for AEP to install fiber from their substations, their transmission substations. And to get from one of their transmission substations to another, they will be contacting some of our poles. What this invoice to AEP is for is there's several poles along this route that need to be replaced because we don't have the proper clearance. And so we are invoicing AEP $268,018.58 for that. They've agreed to pay that amount. There's also going to be another invoice on top of this for traffic control. We will provide traffic control for this, but it's an unknown amount. And so we've told them what the rate is. And then once the work starts and we figure out exactly how much the traffic control costs, then we'll invoice them as a part of this. This is strictly a pass-through cost. There's no profit or anything associated with this. This is just typical of how we do things, when we do projects like that.
So when you were talking about their pole materials and poles, do you give them an itemized list of that?
Yeah. And we also have a contractor that came in and worked with us to price all this up. So the board had approved IMPA to come in and do the engineering study. We performed that work, and then out of that engineering study, we was able to put together, they call it a make-ready price of what it's going to take to actually replace the pole.
Now, will this be, a lot of this work be done by an outside contractor more so than us? Yeah.
So we'll purchase all of the material, and then the contractor will provide the equipment and the labor to do the work. That's all I have, Your Honor.
Okay. No other announcements. Entertain a motion to approve the minutes of the previous meeting.
So moved.
Second.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. And then we also had a meeting on 2/27/23. I'd like to get a motion to approve those minutes.
I'll move, Your Honor.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
I gotta say regarding your announcement and not having any wind damage to electrical lines, that's a pretty big deal.
Yes, it is.
I mean, I know we all see the claims for tree service, tree trimming, and we're like, seriously? But the fact that
Pays dividends.
we had that high of winds come through, and even the maintenance on the lines, and I mean, and all the squirrel guards. We have how many times the squirrels got in this year? 0 that I'm aware of. They're listening outside.
Yeah.
But I mean, just all of those, preventative maintenance things. I say good job, Billy, with just keeping up with those things. And I mean, that's a pretty big deal when you get that. Those are some significant wins.
We've had a lot of significant
Yeah,
wind
yeah.
here in the last
Yes.
6 months to a year.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, we have.
And we appreciate that, and then we turn around Saturday night, and we have one of those porcelain cutouts catch on fire up on the hill, and we are in the process of getting those cutouts changed.
I retract all my statements.
3 o'clock in the morning. Brett,
No, I
Brett's
do.
texting me and he says, "Is your electric out?"
You know me, full honest, full disclosure,
We don't typically lose power. So not only did our electric go out, my backup generator somehow is
Oh,
out
no
as well.
kidding.
Yeah, so we didn't find that out until 3 o'clock in the morning.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
So, what-
We
Yeah.
slept right through it, no problem.
What's that?
We slept right through it, no problem.
Oh, well,
Good.
good for you. So did my wife, but I didn't.
I didn't either.
Well,
I
the
can't.
nice thing about it, we fixed that in less than an hour. I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
it's just
It
tremendous
was quick.
response. Eric sent me a video the next day of that cutout on fire. It was literally up on the cross arm on fire, and that's the reason they had to kill the breaker in the substation. And they had it replaced within an hour. That's just phenomenal.
Yeah, at 3 o'clock in the morning
At 3 o'clock.
on a Saturday night.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Very impressive.
Yeah.
Good job.
We're happy those guys are on our team.
Yes, we are.
And they did it safely.
Yes.
Okay, no other new business tonight?
No, sir.
Got some old business utility rate study?
Yes, sir. We've had the utility rate study, we actually tabled it last month. We're doing some homework on this thing to, per some requests
Yep.
from the board members. This is, our last rate adjustment was done in 2014, so we're well overdue for a rate study. We've reached out to 3 firms that we felt would be in our best interest to get pricing from. One is Reedy Financial, the other is Cronin Associates, and the third one is Baker Tilly. All 3 have submitted proposals. There is a wide difference in pricing between the 3 of them. So not only did we look at price, we also looked at some other things. So if you'll bear me just a minute, I'm going to kind of explain some of this. So as far as the pricing, the low price was Reedy Financial at $50,000. And let me take a step back. This price includes all doing the rate studies, and it's a comprehensive cost of service study for each one of the electric, water, and sewer utilities. And so this pricing includes doing that cost of service rate study for all 3 of the utilities. Reedy Financial was $50,000 for all 3. Cronin Associates was $72,500, and Baker Tilly was $180,000. So one of the things you look at, 50,000, 72,500, 180. That's a big price discrepancy. What's going on here? What's causing that? So we went and talked to each one of the firms and got the experience level, and we asked them over the last 5 years how many utility rate studies, comprehensive cost of service rate studies have you performed in the last 5 years. Reedy came back and said they've done 1 electric rate study. They had done several water and sewer. Big thing there is they've only done 1 electric rate study, which I'll talk about that a little bit more here in just a few minutes. Cronin Associates has done 16 electric rate studies, 45 water and 45 sewer. Baker Tilly has done 63 electric, 282 water, and 280 sewer. So if you look from an experience standpoint, Baker Tilly hands down has the experience level for that. And especially the more critical rate study is going to be the electric, because it's a more complex rate study. Baker Tilly's done 63, Crohn's done 16, Reedy's done 1. So but when looking at that, and then also, so it made me take a real hard look at Crohn to say, you know, they've done 16, is that okay? Is that somebody we would want to do business with? Because there's such a large price discrepancy here between Baker Tilly and Crohn. One of the things that Crohn had going for them is they do rate type work for IMPA as a consultant, and they listed IMPA as their top reference when it became a part of it. I had about a 3-hour conversation with Crohn today because I just wanted to feel comfortable. You know, it's a big decision for us to make, and I wanted to make sure that I'm making what I think is the right recommendation to the board to proceed forward with this. And after that conversation, it would be my recommendation to the board to use Crohn and Associates. Their proposal price is time and material not to exceed $72,500.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but that number could be significantly less, but based upon the number of times you have to go back and do drafts.
Correct. Yeah, and whenever you do a cost of service study, there's different levels that it takes to do this. One of the things, we've been prepping for this for a year, and we have a report that we do. We call it a sales analysis, and it gives us every account each month, the usage and the cost, and then we do some analysis behind this. This is going to help them do their job so much better because they're going to have that data. Plus with the AMI system that we have, that also plays into the electric. The electric is the big cost item here. And we've been working for a year to get our ducks in a row and have all of our information ready. And what we're hoping is that will help reduce this cost. No matter who we choose, with all the info, we're basically doing a lot of the work for them as far as the information gathering, putting it in a format that's easy to use, and then they'll take it and run their numbers and do their thing. So.
Okay.
And one of the things that I would also like to say is Dell and I are great at working together on this. You know, when somebody gives us a time and material price not to exceed, we make sure that they understand that you're not going to bill us a penny over that. So we'll look at their contract language and make sure that we have that in there. That, you know, unless there's some unforeseen circumstances, you know, we took a lot of time writing that RFP to make sure it was as comprehensive as we think it should be, so that we don't have those extra costs. Now, it's not to say that we didn't miss something or something like that, but you know, we definitely do our due diligence to try to make sure that nobody can bill us above and beyond that without a very valid reason.
My assumption, it'll be less.
Yeah.
Good job. Okay, so the recommendation from Director Kennett is, for the rate study, is to use Cronin Associates?
I would say one caveat for me with that would be that we have a local community they recently did a study with, right?
I think they did water or something out in Greendale or something like that. didn't they?
Aurora, yeah.
Aurora.
Was it water sewer?
Oh, you know what?
Just water.
I'm sorry, that was Reedy that did the water for Aurora.
Greendale used them.
Use Crown.
Greendale, okay, it was Greendale. I'm fine with going through with your recommendation. I was just, the caveat being that we would reach out to Greendale and just get a reference from them in regards to speak with them and say, just to make sure if we all say, yeah, let's go with them, and then we call Greendale up and say, man, that was a dumpster fire, the whole thing going with it. Just for that purpose only, I would move that we accept the proposal from Crone not to exceed the 72.5 with based upon you calling and getting a positive reference from Greendale regarding them.
Okay.
So,
And I sent that to Billy when we just had the first two, and Greendale City Attorney said they use them all the time because they stagger their rate studies, so they do what we'll end up doing, which is 4 or 5 year rate refreshes, and they stagger the utilities, so they do water, then they do electric. They don't do them all at the same time, and they just had glowing praise for Crone, and
all they did.
yeah,
I mean, they're
really enjoyed working with them. Yeah, because I wanted to see who other entities would use and if they liked them.
There you go.
Okay, so can I get a motion to approve Crone Associates?
I'll move it.
Justin, second?
I'll second it.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Good work.
Okay, thank you.
Update on the rake. Got to get those leaves raked.
Yeah.
I don't think that's the type of rate we're speaking about.
Oh, that's not the rake? What talking about?
So we actually reached out to 2 companies regarding the rake. The rake is, so let me take a step back and explain this. This is the rake on the screen over by the data center. It's the old sewer plant. It's where right before the wet well, this is a screen that catches any debris that we don't want to go through the pumping system. We had talked that system is over 20 years old, and it was just working magical. We'd really not had many problems with it at all over the 20-year period. And a daggone 3-inch PVC pipe somehow got in there, and it just tore the heck out.
You ever figure out how it got in there?
No. And I mean, it just tore it to pieces. And so we reached out to actually the company that designed and installed that. That was a custom installation back in the day, and they are still in business. And so we reached out to them, and they came in and did an analysis on the rake system. And they gave us 2 quotes. One is to repair the existing, and another is to do a replacement. We also, that was American Pump Repair and Service. We actually Garrett reached out to another company, and they were so busy they wouldn't even come in and take a look at it. So they said they were 2 months out before they could even come in and take a look at it. And right now we're hand raking that every day, actually twice a day. And so it really is something that needs to be replaced. When we called American Pump Repair, they told it was going to be 2 months before they got out, but they told us if they had a cancellation, they would fit us in, and they actually did that. They got here about a month earlier than what they were supposed to be. So the 2 quotes that you have here is, one is to do the replacement, or the repair, I mean, and that is for $90,398. This includes a lot of rebuild, and because the existing rake was really beat up. The second price is to do a total replacement, and that price is $198,480. So, given the cash flow situation we're in, the repair is attractive, but I don't think it's the right thing to do for us long-term. When we do the replacement, it's more money than I want to spend right now, but I don't think we have really a choice in the matter. When we do the replacement, or if we choose to do the replacement, it's a new technology, it's an improved technology, you get better surface cleaning, less stuff going through the pump. So my recommendation, based on the pricing and what we get for the price, is to go ahead and do the replacement for the $198,480.
And if I may add to that, just to enlighten you guys, there was a similar situation like this over at the wastewater treatment plant. The maintenance men pulled it, started tearing it apart, and it's worse than what it was. Unforeseen, so they actually are probably in the process of getting a new one as well. And what Billy's saying here too, we could pull this screen out and they could start tearing it apart. Once they start tearing it apart, there you are. And with it being 20 years old,
What's the turnaround?
I didn't check on that to see. It is a kind of a design build situation, so, but I don't know.
What, the reason I'm asking is if they can repair it in a month.
It would be about the same turnaround time.
Oh, same turnaround,
Yeah,
okay.
and then it's the other thing of getting the crew in here. That's one of the things they had with the sewer plant, was getting the crew in
Yeah.
here to do the work. And, you know, Tommy, you bring up a good point. That rake over at the sewer plant's been down for months.
6 months or more probably.
Yeah, yeah. So, we also looked at, there's different technologies today. I don't know if they had that same technology 20 years ago. They actually make a grinder pump versus a raking system. And we took a good hard look at that, and we just didn't feel like that was the right application. So it wasn't just we looked at what do we have and what are we going to do, you know, just like we do with everything. We looked at it from a comprehensive standpoint and said, is there a better way to do business? And we weighed all the options as far as the grinder versus the rake system. I even reached out to one of my engineers that I've worked with over the years that does a lot of this type of design work. And, you know, his recommendation was stay with the rake, based on the description I gave him with this.
So we, I just refresh, maybe I missed it, it was regarding that we didn't get a price from Duperon.
This is
That-
these are the reps for the Duperon.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay, so that's the same, it's just the
Yeah.
one?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
The other company didn't even come out, take a look.
right.
yeah.
And again, I reiterate, this is the same thing that the sewer district's going through right now, trying to get someone else to come in and look at it as well.
So they had the same person show up as we did?
I'm not sure if it's the same company. I think their screen may be a Parkinson, but the fact of the matter is they're one
Sure.
without one for 6 months now.
Oh.
And it's not good because all that is going into your plant,
Yeah.
everything.
Okay,
Billy, by going with, if we did decide to go with the higher rate, would that be more forgiving if another piece of PVC pipe got in there? Would it do as much damage as it would with rebuild or?
PVC proof.
It's gonna tear it up, same as this. This has a little bit better technology with the way it rakes. It's kind of a multiple rake, kind of like a step system. But that just means there's more parts in there to bust if 3
Sometime-
PVC gets in.
Sometimes they can actually set overloads on them where if they start to bind, it will kick it out.
instead of tearing it
So
up.
Tearing it
we have to
out.
rake and screen it, this is kind of like a lift station, kind of, you know, for lack of a better term. We have to rake and screen everything before we send it to the plant, is that essentially what
Yes.
we're doing?
Yeah, we're trying to keep as much solid debris out of that pump because that just tears those pumps up. So this is a preventative system in front of the pump to try to, and
Okay.
that's been our
Yes.
concern with having a hand brake. You know, we're only getting a fraction out of the hand brake as what we were when it was an automatic brake, which like Tommy said, now that means more stuff's getting into that pump and over time you end up tearing the pump up.
It's gonna
And
cost a fortune.
so that's the reason,
Yeah.
you know, this is something we need to,
It's the same stuff that the Rumpke picks up the dumpster and puts it in there?
Yeah.
that
Yes.
that's
Heavy
it.
waste stuff?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, your recommendation is to go with the new instead of the
Right.
replacement?
Right.
So recommendation on the, or can I get a motion to approve Director Kennett's recommendation to get the new rake instead of the replacement
We
or
have money
repair?
budgeted for this? too?
No,
No?
it's not budgeted, but gotta find it. They're gonna have to spend it. Can't go without it. Emergency. Didn't plan on it.
Billy will
Got that
find
in
it.
your checking account, Mayor?
We taking out Lenny's slush fund.
Billy will find
What
it
we
somewhere.
will do, Justin, is we'll make an adjustment to the capital budget to show this, you know, so that we are accounting for it and we're watching the money based on that.
Unforeseen circumstance. I don't know how else to say it. But great question, Justin. All right, can I get a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. All right, pump replacement on lift station 13.
Okay, so this is the lift station below the flyover bridge. We had talked about this in a previous board meeting. I gave you a heads up on some of the pump problems that we're having in lift stations throughout our service territory. This lift station is one of the, of course, they're all very important, but some have more flow than others. And this lift station 13 has a lot of flow going through it. We actually reached out for 3 different pricing options on this. There's an existing 60 horsepower pump in there. It's a hydromatic. And then we also, so we looked for what would be considered a direct replacement of that pump. We also reached out to a couple other companies to get pricing options on this. So we looked at different pumps, we looked at different pump options. Flight is the kind of the industry standard. That's most of the pumps that we have throughout the system. So just to give you an idea of the option, so the existing is a 60 horsepower. The direct replacement quote for that was $50,303. That was by BBC Pump and Equipment. We also reached out to Indiana Pump Works to look at other options. So, and what this is based on is the pump curve. So you look at the pump curve and say, okay, this pump can do this amount of flow in there. And then you size the horsepower of the motor based on that pump and the pump curve to make sure that the pump curves match. So the reason I say that, it's an existing 60 horsepower pump that's in there. Indiana Pump Works looked at that pump curve and said with a Homa pump, we can do it with a 34.5 horsepower, and that price is $38,787. They looked at a lower cost pump, which was a 40 horsepower, and that price was $27,950. We then looked at the Flight pump, and they looked at their pump curve, and it's 35 horsepower, and that price was $43,730.84. So we looked at the Ibarra. That was the 40 horsepower, which was this $27,950. We don't feel comfortable with that pump just from a how long it'll last. We also looked at the Homa, and so it really came down to the Homa and the Flight. The price difference, let's see, I had that in here.
$4,940.
Yeah, so basically $5,000 price difference. My recommendation is to stay with the Flight and pay the $5,000 premium for this. The reason for that, our standard is a Flight pump, and I just don't want to vary from that, especially $5,000 on a pump station that has this much flow coming into it. So, long story, but recommendation is to go with the Flight for the price of $43,730.84.
Bill, you know when the last time this pump was replaced? Do you have any idea?
I don't think it has been. That's a problem we're having with these pumps. We're getting to the end of life stage on most of these pumps, and that's the reason. Now,
Do they run
Yeah,
a
so
lot. I mean,
they're designed as a backup, so that you got a primary and a backup, and they rotate to keep the run hours. With the heavy rain that we had Friday, it almost maxed out our system. We were real close to it. And one of the things that we were worried about was, could that one pump keep up with it? So we watched this very closely throughout that rainfall, and the one pump did keep up. The problem you have is if that pump goes bad, we have a portable pump we can keep in there, but with that much flow coming in, it's going to be tough to do that. And just to speak on that real quick, with that rainfall that we had coming in, we took some special precautions to make sure that we've had some issues with sewer backing up into people's basements up on the hill, because that system is, really, it's kind of maxed out when you get to heavy conditions like that. And we took some precautionary measures when we seen the rain coming. Garrett made a wise move and did some things, and then we watched everything very closely. And we actually got a high alarm limit there at the Ludlow Hill lift station. Those guys were on it right now. And to my knowledge, we haven't had any complaints of any sewer backing up. And that's a tribute to those guys, because had they not known the system and known the capabilities and made the adjustments that they made, we're pretty sure we would have had problems again.
That backs up all the way up on the hill, we're in trouble.
Yeah.
That's the final pumping station for everything off the hill.
Yeah.
Going back to that, that's only 2 pumps in there? I thought that was 3 pumps in that lift station.
To my knowledge, there's
Just
two.
the 2?
Yeah.
I can tell you personally, from my experience, Flight is definitely a #1 pump.
Yeah.
I mean, I really do like the Flight pumps. The only one question I have with this would be, will that Flight pump work with the control panel that is existing right now? So it's a plug and play.
You know what, Tommy? That came up.
Generally, they are, because they're just usually 3-phase. There's nothing special other than maybe.
There may have to be some modification to the controls, because it's not a Flight pump that's
Correct.
in there right now, and I'm not sure. Garrett did say that there would have to be some changes made to that, so there will be some additional cost. What that cost is, I'm not sure. It's one of the things that we have on our radar. Garrett and Andy and I are working together right now, because we know a lot of these lift stations are going to have to be rebuilt. And when we do it, we want to make sure there's a standard with each lift station to make sure. Right now, we have different controls in place for different lift stations. We want to engineer a standard for that and make sure that they all have standards. So this is one that there will have to be some modifications. We're just not sure how much. But the big thing is the Flight pump, and it will be in there, and we can reuse that pump when we rebuild that lift station.
and obviously there's either a greater efficiency level to be able to reach the same curve as the 60 horsepower. But I mean, is this something where, 60 horsepower is not working near as hard, so you're going to get a lot longer life out of it if we go with something similar?
Yeah, that's a great point. We're reducing the horsepower from a 60 to a 35. It's more energy efficient. It meets the same pump curve. It's got the same flow coming out of
But is it
it.
going to be working harder and not last as long? I mean, is that a concern at all?
No, it's the same flow. So it's basically just a better machine, a better motor that you're putting in there to get the same result as what you're getting out of the 60.
As long as the pump curve and the total dynamic head is about the same, it's not really gonna work any harder. And that's how much it has to push to the total dynamic head. But again, I reiterate that we've used Flight pumps at the wastewater treatment plant for years. I mean, many years. And you get your money's worth out of them.
What was the cost on that?
43,730.84 or something.
Yeah,
$43,730.
$43,730.84.
Can we hook these up to SCADA as well?
That's what we're working on that.
Okay. Good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're working on it.
Okay. Okay, so the recommendation is to replace the pump on lift station 13 with the flight pump at a cost of $43,730.84. I get a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Any other old business, Director Kennett?
That's all I have, sir.
Spend enough money.
I was getting ready to say, that's
Yeah.
enough.
All right. If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve claims. Sorry.
So moved.
Second.
I'll second it, Mayor.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Motion to adjourn this meeting.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. I'd like to call to order the City of Lawrenceburg City Council meeting for March 6, 2023. If everyone could rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. How about another roll call, Mr. Fetty?
All right, Councilperson Tony Abbott.
Here.
Councilperson Justin Oppert.
Sir?
Councilperson Tommy Roulette.
Present.
Councilperson Lenny Fryman.
Here.
Councilperson Brett Bondurant.
Yes, sir.
City Attorney Dale Weldon.
Yeah.
Mayor Kelly Malone.
Here.
And myself.
All right. Announcements, board reports, streets, alleys, and curbs, downtown area. Mr. Abbott.
Everything's good.
All right. What about up on the hill?
Oh, good,
Streets,
sir.
alleys, and
Thank you.
curbs?
Real good.
Didn't say your name.
Well,
Mr. Fryman.
I know you was looking at me.
Oh, I
So.
was looking to see. All right. Finance Department, Mr. Bondurant.
No report, Mayor.
Parks and Playgrounds, Mr. Noppert.
Nothing there. We talked to Mr. Todd about some of the turf and stuff maintenance.
Yeah, him and I, we actually filed a warranty claim on it. But I told him, I said, I want to check into why it's doing it, because it's just not been down long enough.
Right.
I know it gets a lot of play, don't get me wrong.
It was busy Saturday.
It was busy today.
Yeah.
Oh, it's been busy.
Going
Okay.
back to that particular park too, Arch Street Park, the one piece of apparatus that broke loose from the base, did they get that repaired?
Yeah.
I know they were gonna have the company come in and re-bolt it, correct?
Yeah, I think that's already happened, but then there's been another piece of equipment that,
A bolt fell out of
Yeah.
it, correct? Yeah, which yeah, I can see that.
That's been fixed. Well, I went down there and seen about it and called Brad, and Brad said I just fixed it. Well, I found another one there, so they came over right then and fixed another one. So the bolts keep dropping out here where somebody's using them. I don't know.
We need some thread lock on this thing.
I said it before,
Well-
Loctite, blue and red Loctite.
It might be, I was over there Saturday night and there was some bigger kids.
well, you're not
out
supposed
on
to be
there.
in there after
Yeah, but-
dark.
I know, but.
Now I know
it was
why
out
the
there,
bolts
about
are
5 or 6 of them out there.
Hey,
running on that
police
pretty
get
hard.
Lenny out after dusk.
Now I know
That's
why
the
the
only time I
bolts.
can get on
Get
it.
in after dark.
Hell, I was trying to turn off all the lights, but I couldn't get them off so I could get on there. But there was some big kids out there playing on that didn't
well,
need to be.
We can't keep big kids from doing it, but I'll tell you what I did do about a week and a half ago. We had a 60-degree day or whatever. I was over on a Saturday afternoon, or stopped by, and I was walking through, and there were 2 adults on one of the apparatuses. And they looked at me like I had 3 heads, but I went over and asked them if they would kindly get off, you know. And they did, but then I drove back around a few more times, and they didn't get back on. But it's happening, and I can't stress enough. I mean, I had the conversation with Chief Snyder. We're sending our cops over there on a daily basis, especially on nice days such as today. It's just, you know, and I get the same phone calls as you do, Mr. Abbott, and others downtown. And, you know, I wish the public would call the police directly.
Yes.
There's no need to, you know, not call, I mean, call them.
Yep.
Okay, we spent a lot of money on for the kids, and we're not gonna have people tear it up,
We need to build an adult playground, I guess.
I guess.
That'd be fun.
Yeah, there you go.
But I mean, honestly, there's a lot of that equipment. If you have a responsible adult, they're responsible. If they have two little kids sitting on one side of the teeter-totter and they're sitting on the other, it's not gonna hurt it.
That's
It's
not
just the
that-
abuse that's,
yeah,
you know, that,
it's
I
the-
mean,
Yeah, you're right.
there are people that are there with their kids, maybe it's just mom and her son, and, you know, they wanna balance each other. That's not hurting. It's
No.
just the abuse that, you know, the people take
It's-
advantage of that, so.
Exactly, you're exactly right, so. Okay, anything else on parks? I'm sorry. Fire Department, Mr. Rolette.
Have nothing to report, Mayor.
All righty. Entertain a motion to approve the minutes of the previous meeting.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. And then also I need a motion to approve the minutes from 2/27/23.
So move, Mayor.
Second?
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Under new business, ALS donation. This is, we've been doing this every year since we moved it downtown. Mr. Logan Lawrence called and I said, I'm sure we would be interested in it again, and I told him I'd bring it up at tonight's meeting. Our sponsorship has been a $5,000 sponsorship each year. We keep it, we plan for that in the events category of our budget. So I'll entertain a motion on that, or questions, concerns, whatever.
So move, Mayor.
Yeah.
Second?
I'll second.
Yeah.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. First Sunday in May.
Pray for good weather.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
First Sunday in May. All right. Mr. Weldon, the non-discrimination policy resolution.
Thank you, Your Honor. If it pleases the Common Council, what you have in your packets for review tonight is resolution number 3-2023, City of Lawrenceburg, Dearborn County, Indiana. This is a resolution enacting and adopting the non-discrimination notice and policy for the City of Lawrenceburg, Indiana. That policy is located on our website under ADA, and there's a link for notice under the Americans with Disabilities Act, and it reads, in accordance with the requirements of Title II of the Americans with Disabilities Act of 1990, the City of Lawrenceburg will not discriminate against qualified individuals with disabilities on the basis of disability and its servicing program or activities. And then it breaks it down into the following categories: employment, effective communication, modifications, policies and procedures. And it lists ways to take action to enforce the ADA policy if necessary. That's the policy itself. And then also included in that ADA section, we have the Title VI resolution, the transition plan, which will, and the implementation plan that we'll talk about today, as well as a grievance procedure and a grievance form. And then there's a Title VI section as well. As you guys know, we have designated certain employees to be Title VI coordinators, ADA coordinators. We also have the ADA survey that's always available in the back of chambers for review. That's an ongoing survey. And so this first resolution just approves and adopts that policy that is currently published on the website.
Questions? Resolution number, Mr.
That was 3.
That was 3?
Yeah.
Okay.
Was he still on was he on the second one already?
No.
No.
You're kidding me. I thought he blew through both of them already.
I think he did. He sort of talks about both of them, but
The second one's longer.
yeah, but that's,
That's
Longer.
what he's afraid of.
that is number 3.
That was 3, yes.
Okay. Any questions, guys?
I have none, Mayor.
Yep, yes, sir.
If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve resolution number 3-2023.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, next one.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Title VI.
Yes, sir. The second document that you have for your review is resolution number 4-2023, a resolution enacting and adopting City of Lawrenceburg's ADA transition plan and Title VI implementation plan. These are plans that were developed at great length and great effort by Mike Abden, Kelly Hermish, Diane Hyde, and Jenny Felix to comply with all of our ADA and Title VI requirements. Of course, the American with Disabilities Act from 1990, as well as Title II specifically of the ADA, and then Title VI. So 88 outlines our responsibilities for persons with disabilities, and then Title 6 outlines our responsibilities for non-discrimination based on characteristics. Both of these plans are included as attachments, Attachment A and Attachment B, and are in the packets, will be published and made available to the public upon passage of this resolution, which formally approves and implements both of those plans.
So moved.
I like it.
I didn't ask for what.
I was trying to move it along.
No, it's comprehensive, this whole.
Yeah,
It is.
There's a lot.
They spent a lot of time on
There's
this,
a
and
lot.
it really helps us with any kind of grants or really just anything. It really is on a daily basis something we use quite a bit. And I mean, we just couldn't have a better safety director, and Title VI, ADA, HR, just across the board, always going above and beyond the requirements.
I don't think this happens in a lot of small towns.
No,
I mean,
I,
this is
I can guarantee it's not.
yeah, and that's, you know,
I've looked at some websites
yeah.
of other small cities that they list their ADA director, and that person is even no longer there.
Yeah, I mean, it's something we
they don't-
want to do, and something
Yes.
we need to do,
Yes.
and it's something that's also we're going to transfer this to our engineers with the Riverfront project, because it's going to be significant that we are in compliance, and
Well, we gotta take it serious.
yeah, it is.
And I think that's what happens is a lot of, I don't wanna say it. that way.
Yeah, we want to
And
be
you guys,
We're taking it
friendly
serious.
environment for this.
and you guys did that with your parks planning and the remodeling of the parks. They're very inclusive, and you know that's important. We have a very inclusive community, but that takes a lot of hard work, and we have folks that are doing that work every day.
Yep, I agree. Any questions? Now I'll entertain a motion to approve resolution number 4-2023.
You already got it, didn't you?
Also,
No, we did not get one.
So moved.
Second?
Brett, second.
Second?
second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Myself on it.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Bunch of yahoos. All right. I have no other new or old business for this meeting. Anybody have anything?
Any old business on your way out of town, Mr. Roulette?
No, sir.
All right.
All good.
If not, I'll entertain comments from the audience. Yes, ma'am.
I have just a question. Did the Alta Fiber, oh, you want me to get up?
That way they can hear.
Thank you.
I've been out of town, so I just wondered if I missed something. Did the Alta Fiber deal close?
Yes.
As it was supposed to?
Yes.
Okay. And so what should we expect is going to happen?
Well, what you can expect is, and better to be explained by them, there's, on our website, there's a landing page with every question that a lot of the FAQs, that could probably tell you more than, and more accurately than what I can, but they will be contacting folks as they transition them over, is
Okay.
how we're understanding it. And, it should be a seamless transfer of that. But if there's any additional questions than that, Gene, it's probably best to go out on that page, and then
That's at the Think Lawrenceburg page?
yes, and then it'll take you to the landing page. They call it a landing page.
Okay.
But it has all those questions and the answers in a lot more detail than what I could do a very good job of.
And until
explaining.
then, we'll continue to pay the city our
This
monthly
week's
bill?
bill is the last bill, right?
Oh, it is?
Here
Okay.
From
Last month.
Working.
that'll be that'll be the final bill from Lawrenceburg
Okay.
Communications.
Broadband.
All right.
Yes.
The one that's
You won't get
due
the
here in a
Absolutely.
week or so?
Transferred over, which could take up to 6 months, didn't they say?
Well,
80 days?
we don't.
They're starting soon.
Yeah, they're
now.
starting.
They're already starting.
Yeah, they're wanting to do it a lot sooner than later, of course, and we do too. Yeah, we do too. So,
Okay.
but yeah, you'll get this final bill from Lawrenceburg Broadband Communications.
I just got
And then
it
you
today.
wait on the bill from them.
Okay. All right.
Thank you.
Mayor, on that note, is there a plan as far as the switch over? Are they starting on one particular part of town, working grid
We,
Grid or-
the only thing we know is, the answer I have is, I don't know. It's gonna be, they're gonna do it in groups, blocks of groups, or they have terminology to use that I've heard it 40,000 times, but I don't use it, so I don't remember it. But, Bryson's working still with them on a continuous basis. But yeah, it'll be in groups of people, based upon the area of the city and what best fits for them. So I can't tell, I have no idea. I have no idea when I'll be transitioned over, or somebody downtown, or anybody. I just don't know.
And they got 4 vans all the time at the data center.
Yeah.
Yes, they
Going
do.
at it, so.
Yeah, it's, they're able to do this, you know, thank goodness.
The good thing is, in the meantime, you don't have to do a thing. You're gonna
Yep.
continue to get your service, and when they are ready to switch over, they'll reach out to you, and then they'll handle that switch over. But until then, everyone's gonna keep getting their service, no interruption, and this, they're already hard at work getting everything switched over.
That's good. That's probably the best way to explain it.
Okay.
Anything else? Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, we've been waiting and trying to get somebody to put some remote doors on our elevator rooms. Because the people on them scooters, they have a heck of a time getting in and out of there. Nobody seems to want to do that.
Well, and we're still holding the last check.
Our manager said they got the money, but not to spend on that.
Oh, well, and we can't help you with that one, but the thing is Lee, is before they come and get the last check from us that we had committed to for them, that is the question I'm gonna ask them.
Well, see, the government helps us with the rent. We thought maybe the government could come in and put some of them on the doors or something.
Oh, I don't know.
They go like, they have to open the door and they have to go like this.
Yeah,
And then they raise heck because scratch the doors. Yeah.
The doors are very hard to open.
yeah.
Really?
I don't know how the ones in the wheelchairs and things do it.
They're heavy doors, yes. I want to get one of them scooter chairs. What are you gonna use? You can't use it. You can't get out the door. That's what I sure do.
You
Right.
put a big bumper on it so you can just ram it open.
Yeah, I get me a rabbit rod.
Get you one of those bumper cars they have at the fair.
One lady from our architect
Oh,
or something,
man.
and I told her about what
We
to
can
fix
fix
the
it for
doors.
them.
No, we're not going to. I said, well, we'll just knock the dang doors down. Why don't worry about them?
There you
Oh,
go.
down the hall. I'll take one.
Can't take them out because of fire code.
Yep.
Right. It's catch-22 and it's a shame, actually, but.
They could possibly fall off the hinge, I don't know.
Yeah, they're really heavy. They have time with their leg, pushing with their
Right.
legs open. Yeah.
We agree with you. It's just, we can't tell owners what to do,
Yeah.
you know? But, anything else? If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve the claims.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Motion to adjourn
So
this
moved.
meeting.
Oh.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Be safe, everybody.
Oh, we got a sign. Don't forget.